You work hard every day.
At your job.
At your studies. At your skills. You put in the hours. You push yourself. You want to improve. But your results are slower than they should be. And you cannot figure out why. Here is the truth. The problem is probably not how much you work. It is what you do after you work. And almost nobody talks about this. Welcome back to Gentle Wisdom. Today, I am going to show you the one thing that is silently destroying your learning. Not just your English. Everything you study. Everything you try to remember. Everything you want to improve. And I'm going to show you exactly what to do about it starting tonight. By the end of this video, you will understand why so much of what you learned yesterday is already gone, what your brain actually needs to learn anything well, and the one simple habit that changes everything.
So slow down.
Listen carefully. And let's begin. Lesson 1. Your brain does the real work while you sleep. Here is a truth that most people never hear. When you close your eyes and fall asleep, your brain does not stop. It gets to work. During sleep, your brain replays everything you learned that day. It sorts through new information. It decides what to keep and where to store it. It moves knowledge from short-term memory into long-term memory. Scientists call this memory consolidation. Matthew Walker, a sleep scientist and the author of Why We Sleep, describes sleep as the brain's overnight filing system. Think about that. You study for 1 hour. Then you sleep for 8 hours. During those 8 hours, your brain is processing everything you learned, filing it away, strengthening it. But if you do not sleep enough, the filing never happens. The information fades. And tomorrow, you start from almost zero. This is true for every kind of learning. A new language, a new skill, a new concept, a new idea. Without sleep, almost none of it survives to the next day. You did not forget because you have a bad memory. You forgot because you did not give your brain the time it needed to save what you learned. Remember this. Sleep is not a reward after studying. Sleep is part of studying. The most important part. Lesson 2. Poor sleep is making your study sessions worthless. Let me be direct with you. If you are sleeping less than 7 hours, your study sessions are mostly wasted. You are spending time and energy on learning that your brain cannot properly store. And it gets worse. Poor sleep does not just affect memory. It destroys your ability to focus. It slows your ability to process new information. It makes everything harder to understand. You sit down to study. You feel tired. The material seems harder than usual. You cannot concentrate. You push through anyway, but nothing sticks. Then you blame yourself. You think you are not smart enough. You think the subject is too hard. But the problem was not your ability. The problem was the night before. There was once a learner named Yuki. She was serious about improving herself. She studied every evening for 1 hour. She read books. She practiced new skills. But she stayed up until midnight every night. She was sleeping only 5 hours. After 3 months, she felt stuck. Nothing was improving the way she expected. She thought she needed better resources, a better method, more hours. Then she changed one thing. She started protecting 8 hours of sleep. 3 words reviewed before closing her eyes. Phone away by 10. In 3 weeks, something shifted. The same material she had studied before started to feel familiar. Things clicked. Progress returned. She did not change what she studied.
She changed when she stopped.
Start here. Protect your sleep like you protect your study time. Because without sleep, your study time means almost nothing. Lesson 3, 3 words. That is all you need tonight. Here is the good news. You do not need to change everything tonight. You only need one small habit. Before you sleep, look at 3 things you want to remember. Just 3. Read them once. Say them quietly to yourself. Then close your book, put down your phone, and sleep. That is it. Your brain will do the rest. During sleep, it will replay those 3 things. Connect them to what you already know. Strengthen the memory. And when you wake up tomorrow, before you check your notes, try to recall them. This simple act of trying to remember before you check is one of the most powerful memory techniques researchers have found. It signals to your brain that this information matters, and your brain responds by holding it more tightly. 3 things remembered are worth more than 30 things forgotten. Most people study too much at once. They try to remember everything, and they forget almost all of it. Then they study more. It becomes a cycle of learning and forgetting. Break the cycle. Study less in each session.
Sleep more.
Review 3 things before you close your eyes. This works for English words. It works for business concepts. It works for anything your brain needs to hold. Tonight, pick 3 things you want to remember. Review them once. Sleep well. And see what is still there tomorrow morning. Lesson 4, sleep more. Learn more. Here is the final truth. Most people focus entirely on what they study. How many hours? Which method? Which resource? But the real question is not what you study. It is what happens after you study. And the answer is simple. Sleep. Sleep more. Learn more. It sounds too simple,
but it is backed by science, and it is completely free.
And there is one more thing nobody tells you. It is not just how long you sleep. It is when you sleep. Your brain does its deepest memory work between 10 at night and 2 in the morning. This is when real consolidation happens. Sleep at 11 and wake at 6. That is 7 hours, and you caught most of the golden window. Sleep at 2 and wake at 9. That is also 7 hours. But you missed the most valuable part. Same hours. Very different results. If you want to remember what you learned today, go to sleep before midnight. That is not a lifestyle suggestion. That is brain science. Think about 2 people. Both study for 1 hour every evening. Both sleep 7 hours. The first goes to sleep at 2 in the morning. She wakes at 9. 7 hours of sleep. But she missed the golden window. The second goes to sleep at 11 at night. She wakes at 6. Also 7 hours. But her brain spent the early hours doing its deepest memory work. After 3 months, they are not even comparable. Same study time. Same sleep time. One different decision about when to sleep. Every single night. This applies to everything you want to learn. And it applies especially to English. Because language learning requires your brain to build thousands of small connections. Those connections are built during sleep. Which version of you do you want to be 3 months from now? The answer starts tonight. Not with a new method. Not with more hours. With a decision to protect your sleep and give your brain what it actually needs. You have been learning wrong. Not because you were lazy. Because nobody told you this. Now you know. Tonight, Look at 3 things you want to remember. Sleep well, and let your brain do what it was always capable of. 3 things remembered are worth more than 30 things forgotten. And little by little you are becoming. Protect your attention, train your mind, and keep becoming.